All right, I told you that this was done and we were going to start here. And I'm actually going to add a few more things that I know I tend to use almost every time I'm making collage clusters. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring them in now rather than bringing them in later, because I know that these are things I pull from all the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and have them. So this is that little basket that has the little odd bits of things, right? I have no idea. There's like just all kinds of stuff in here. So I have no idea if there's something in here that I'll want to use, but I am going to keep this close by my workstation. So if I feel I need something with color or something with texture that I don't have, I can take a rifle through here and take a look. So that's one thing I'll have extra. Another thing is I know I like shiny bits. So these are sticky gem thingies from the craft store. And this is just a bag of assorted sequins, again, from the craft store. So I know I tend to like shiny things. So I'm going to have these out here because I'm probably going to want to add, usually at the very end of building my cluster, I'm like, oh, it just needs some kind of little sparkle. So I'm pretty certain I will use these at some point. These require a heavier glue, like a craft glue. Just plain old glue stick won't keep these glued on. So you will need to use a heavier glue. Sometimes there's enough stickum on the self-sticky ones, and sometimes it peels off. So it doesn't hurt to just put a little spot of glue and then put this gem on, even though it's self-stick. So the other thing I know is I really like textile things. You saw that in my basket I had a couple tiny little pieces of fabric scraps, and this is just a piece of lace scrap. I tend to buy lace things at the thrift store, doilies and things like that, and I just cut them up and use the little bits and pieces. I think it's a nice texture change from the paper, and I like how there's little like open spaces. I just find those kind of intriguing. So I'm sure I will use this somewhere. This was another one of those. This is from a bird book. I showed you the butterfly, the butterfly one earlier. This was just a little scrap I found that I had used somewhere else. So I thought, oh, these would be good because there's a couple of little birds here I could use. Maybe it's a focal point. So I'm going to add that to my basket. And then earlier when I was showing you one of the many bags I have that has collage stuff in it, there was this pack. It started out as one of these Tim Holtz ephemera. So there's all kinds of different shapes in here. I've also stuck some of my own things in here. So there's like some tags that I put in here. There's a butterfly that I received as a swap. Someone had colored it in. A punch out butterfly, a water. I just kind of like, you know, randomly stick some stuff in here. But I also have some of the other things that actually came originally to this package. So I knew this had a variety of things in here. So I thought, well, maybe I would want, you know, like maybe I would want to stick in, this is some kind of little label thing, right? Maybe I would want that on there. So I'll have this nearby also to look through if I just feel like I need a little bit more of something. And then the last thing, this is a basket where I keep trimmings from when I'm sewing. I put my thread trimmings in there, my yarn from crochet and knitting projects, little bits of ribbon. There's a couple little fabric thingies. So this is just a little scrappy. I just keep the little scrappy bits in here because it's fun to sometimes just pull out a little wad. And that's not playing nice. And, you know, maybe I would just like glue this little bundle down, and then maybe I would glue something on top of this, right? So this could end up being an interesting textural layer. It has a lot of movement in the string, so our eye will tend to travel along this as we're looking at our finished composition on our cluster. So I may or may not end up like pulling some yarn or some thread and just kind of bundling it and then gluing something on top of it. So I have that as well. So I wanted to let you know I am including these by the side of my desk. So this is the main tray that I will pull from. And then if I feel like I just don't have what I think I want in terms of color or texture, something like that, then I'll go into one of these other containers that I'll just have off to the side of my desk. So it's not right in my work surface. This is still my main choices. And what I just showed you are if I feel like I need something extra and I'm not finding it in here. I'm still limiting myself though. I'm not looking through all of my collage material that I have stashed everywhere in my room. I'm trying to keep my choices small, even my extras. Trying to keep those choices small so I don't get overwhelmed. So it's easier for me to make decisions so I don't have decision fatigue. Okay, so I wanted to jump in and add those extra little sparkly bits.